Welcome into the FutureSox podcast. My name is Elijah Evans, and I am here with another prospect interview series. Today, I've got DJ Gladney on with me, coming off a 19 home run season with High-A Winston-Salem. Welcome in, DJ. Good to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me. Feels good to be here.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll start with this. How's everything going for you right now? The season in High-A finished up. Where are you at right now? What are you up to? Kind of how has the beginning of this offseason been for you?
Yeah, so for me, the beginning of the off season was kind of a slow start. I don't know if you guys knew I was coming off an injury. I injured my wrist, kind of cut my season about 2 weeks shorter than I wanted to.
Right.
So for me, like the first couple of weeks was just rehabbing, just letting my wrist heal up and like that. And then I actually just started about like 2 weeks ago, getting back into working out, lifting, hitting, all that kind of stuff. So that's been kind of my process so far.
Nice. That makes sense. Going back a little before you had the injury, how was the season for you? It was, you spent the whole year in Winston-Salem. Last year you kind of had bounced around a little bit, mostly in Kannapolis, and then you went up to Project Birmingham. But this was kind of your year of fully settling in at the high level. How did everything feel for you this year, and just how did the season go up until that injury?
Yeah, I mean, the season was for me, I thought it was pretty good. I think I still need a lot of stuff to work on. There's a lot of things I saw that were good and a lot of things I saw that were bad. So it just gave me like a overview on what I needed to do as a player to be able to, get back to the next step, which is double A. So, I mean, I think overall, I think it went pretty good. And I'm excited to work on the things I need to work on just to get back in that position.
Yeah, what were some of if you could, let's talk about some of the things, you're working on, this season and then going into as you keep moving forward. What are some of the things offensively at the plate that you're really working on adjusting right now?
So for me, the main thing for me is just finding my zone. I know at times when I get hot, when I'm really hot and I'm seeing the ball well, I kind of find my zone. But then sometimes I just get away from it, and that's when I start to expand a little more and I start to chase. So for me, it's been just staying in one zone and just being stubborn and not letting, you know, any pitch that's not the one I want to swing at just dictate my whole at bat. So that's going to be my main focus, and hopefully I'll see different results this season. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think plate approach is something that, from talking to a lot of other guys in the system and other prospects, that's something that a lot of people go through and a lot of people have to deal with, kind of refining and figuring out what works best for you. Is there
Yeah.
any, pitches that you specifically find yourself struggling with consistently, or is it more just, about location and figuring, reading stuff and finding that zone, like you said?
Yeah, so for me, it's that the one I mainly chase is that slider that's low and away, kind of like starts in the outside corner of the play and then just breaks off. That's kind of my kryptonite right there. That's my weakness.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm able to just eliminate that side of the plate and like hitters counts, two strikes, I think I'll be better off, getting the pitch in the zone that I want and doing better damage in the zone and making better contact um, rather than, chasing or, weakly grounding out to second base or something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. We've seen you, 19 home runs combined both the last two seasons. Is that something, do you see yourself as more of a power hitter, or do you think that there is kind of that multiple different facets that you're still trying to tune into to, have those other elements in addition to that obvious power you have?
So for me, I do see myself as a power hitter just because of, I do have a lot of power, but I feel like I can be much more if I establish my strike zone, and if I'm not swinging at a whole bunch of different pitches that I can't do any damage on. For me, I feel like I can be way much more if I just stay consistent in the zone and I swing at good pitches that I know I can do damage on. So I'm still trying to figure that part out as far as it goes, and we'll just have to see, I guess, and just see how the work pays off.
What's it like translating, like you said, you have a lot of natural strength. What is some of the focuses in translating that natural strength into in-game power? Because they're not the same thing, right? There's a lot of guys you see with a ton of natural strength, but doesn't result in power in terms of, home runs, doubles. How is there anything you do specifically to kind of take your strength and turn it into power on the field?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I know a lot of professional guys do this. I like to hit a tire. I get like the heaviest bat I can possibly like
Yeah.
rip and swing. And then I just go and I just hit a tire. And I've been doing it since I was about 8 years old. So every time I go hit, I just hit the tire about 20 to 30 times. And then I just go on my daily routine. And for me, that's been generating a lot of my power. And I've been able to, be out in front on like a curveball or slider and just be able to flick it in the gap or flick it for a home run. So I think that definitely helps a lot with my swing and generate a lot of the power.
Yeah, that's a really cool technique, actually. On the other side of the ball, right? You came up and were drafted more as a third base, first base, and this past year you've kind of slowly the last year too, kind of transitioned into more of a left field, right field, corner outfielder. How has that been for you, and how do you feel comfortable right now in the outfield?
Honestly, yeah, I think I've got my feet pretty wet in the outfield. I know last year was kind of weird. Still trying to learn, every detail about the outfield. It was actually my first time actually playing outfield in my life. I mean, I played it a couple of times like when I was like 12, but it's kind of different than, playing professional.
Right.
But so yeah, I mean, last year was kind of just like the stepping stones for me, and then this year, obviously, I played it pretty much every day, and I enjoy it now. I actually prefer it actually more than going back to the dirt. Honestly, and I'm just so free out there. I can dive, make plays, So I do enjoy being out there.
Yeah, that's cool. It's definitely a transition that a lot of players have to make. I've talked to other guys who also have transitioned, later in their career to either outfield to infield or whatever it might be. So it's a change, but it's good to hear that you actually like it out there because it's you look comfortable there this season, especially. Going
Yeah.
into a little bit more of your life, you were born in Oak Park, that's my hometown, which is cool. But you grew up and raised in Illinois, right? How was it like for you, being originally being drafted by the White Sox, being somebody who grew up in Illinois?
I mean, just going back to that day, that was amazing. I grew up going to all the Sox games, watching guys like Alexei Ramirez, Paul
Yeah,
Konorko, this guy, just those big names. I remember going to those games and sitting in the stands and like being like, man, I can't wait, to be up there and play on this field and just being able to get drafted by them. I didn't know how to react the first day. Honestly, I just stood there just staring at the TV. It was a dream come true, especially just being like the hometown kid. It was great.
yeah, that's pretty incredible. Is there anything that you remember specifically? You just said you saw those are some of the greats from your childhood, right? But is there anything that you remember, growing up that really got you like knowing you wanted to play baseball long term? Was there like a moment or a game or whatever it might be that just really kind of made you want to be a baseball player?
Well, let me think. It was definitely. I know we did a lot of trips when I was younger to like big tournaments like Wisconsin Dells. I knew I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Um, just traveling all over the country pretty much, and then just I guess just getting better as the competition got better, and I guess it just kind of drove me to kind of take it a step further. So I would probably say just things just being around a lot of good competition probably just drove me to want to take it to the next step.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Off the field a little bit, what are some of the things that you do? Obviously baseball is a huge part of your life, but it's always good to know for fans, a little bit about you, not just on the field. So what are some of the things in your life that you do for fun or just with your family or whatever it might be to keep yourself, balanced with all the baseball you do?
Yeah, so I'm a pretty random guy. I just do whatever I just like. So I make music. That's like one of my main things. I like to make music in my spare time. I like to stream. I stream on Twitch and platforms like
Nice.
that. What else do I do? I like to design clothes. I just whenever comes to mind that I want to, give a shot, I just do. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty random with stuff like that.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff. That's cool. Being a
Yeah.
being a Chicago guy, deep dish, yes or no?
Yeah, I could go for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Just we got to get that out. I get at that out there.
Yeah.
Being around a lot of different prospects in the system right now. This is kind of a time where the White Sox farm system has kind of gained a lot of talent in the past year. There's a lot of guys coming into the system. How do you feel from your time in Winston and just in general? How do you feel about the future of the organization and some of the guys you've been playing with this past few years?
I think the future is real good hands. We got a lot of great players in the system, a lot of great players that people don't know about. And I think the farm system of the White Sox is gonna really be a game changer in the future for the White Sox. So, I mean, and not a lot of people can see it. You know, like I see a lot of the players, and what I can say is just it's a lot of great people and a lot of great players that are going to impact the White Sox organization.
Yeah, that's very cool. We're excited to see what the future holds. Going into, like you said, you just got kind of going with your off season a few weeks ago after getting back from your injury. Is there anything what's your plan for the rest of the off season? I'll ask you that kind of where you're at right now and then what everything looks like leading up to spring training for you.
Yeah, so my goal, well, I'll split it up. My goal right now in the weight room, I am trying to put on a couple pounds, trying to bulk up just a little bit, not too much, just to keep me in shape during the season. As far as the hitting side, we already talked about like the
Yeah,
hitting or the zone, strikeout zone. Those really are my two main goals right now. Just the two big things I saw during the season that I was going to need to really get after when I got home. As far as anything else that I can think of, I mean, not really. Other than that, those are just the two things I really want to get after.
for sure. That makes perfect sense. And then are you staying out back home right now? Or are you heading out to Arizona at some point? What's the plan there?
So the plan right now, I am gonna just be in Chicago as far as I know right now. Eventually, when we start getting to like December, January, I probably will go back out just to be
Yeah,
outside because it's gonna be cold here and stuff.
of course.
I'll probably do it like maybe like 2 to 3 times. We'll see. Um, and then yeah, we'll just go from there when it gets to closer to spring training.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time. We're looking forward to seeing everything continue to grow for you and to watch your hitting and everything else continue to get better.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.